is a 4-step process that I have outlined for doing just that. So, number 1, we become receptive. Again, we're becoming receptive to the truth, the absolute truth, the divine truth. That has nothing to do with what's real in the moment. We get still, number 2. We center ourselves in heaven consciousness. Again, we make the trip from the external, the personality, where we spend 99.9% of our time, thinking those 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day, 75% of which are the same as yesterday. That's living in the ego, the personality, external. We make the trip to the internal, to our divine self. That might sound easy. It ain't. And if you're a truth student, you'll spend the rest of your life, this lifetime, and probably several more, trying to make that trip, if you're anything like me. The third thing is we ask the question. Now, what question do you ask? That's precisely where the specific part of this process comes in. Any question on your heart will do. How should I heal this condition? What is the best course of action regarding ... fill in the blank. Any question on your heart is the right question. And then 4, we act. And before you act, my suggestion is, when you go into that state of receptivity and you center yourself and still yourself, you ask that question in the 3rd step of the process, write it down. Because if you are anything like me, it may not make sense upon first entering into your life. The concept, the answer you get may need to evolve, or you may need to evolve. So write it down, then act. So become receptive, still in center, ask the question, act. It's the 4-step process. Okay, well that's helpful, maybe. And you're saying to yourself, that'll work well in carefree times and problem-free times. But how do I persist in doing God's will in the tough times? In the times of lack? I don't have anything. Debilitating fear, doubt, trouble, sickness. You know, that's not easy, right? Who wants to think about the invisible when the visible is sledgehammering you over the head? That's really nice, but these prayers seem completely flat when I am in unbelievable pain, or trembling anxiety, or there is 0.000 in my bank account. It's not easy. But with practice, it does get better. We make the commitment to do the best that we can. That's what we make the commitment. We do the best that we can at any time to come from our Christ self, whether dealing with ourselves or another, conditions of health, finance, lack, doesn't matter. We continue as best we can to move away from the perceived defect and place the eyes firmly on the solution. And the solution is always...
Good.
Yeah, don't be shy now.
Not shy.
Otherwise, the check, you don't get it. Christ, God, divine presence. We inquire of the divine and we follow the advice when it comes. We do our part. Here's the thing. We do our part. We set the intention through asking, through affirmations based on truth. But God is responsible for the results. God is responsible for the soup it shows up in, right? The manifestation. God is responsible for how it looks. We never do more than our part. And guess what? If we do, we either completely nullify all that good work that we did in our 4-step process, or we partially nullify it, or we delay it. We must set the intention that we must let God do his part. As a matter of fact, we could miss the manifestation altogether because we're looking for something so specific if we don't let God do God's part. So, here's another question. In that 3rd step, how long do we wait after the asking? That's exactly what I have written here, Ellie. As long as it takes. Who is just very patient? Who is is like ultra fantastic here with being patient, especially when they want something and need something and they feel like their whole life is. Anybody got that down?
Not really.
Not really.
I try.
Yeah, I'm not. Getting better. We give ourselves the gift of believing in divine providence, not part of the time. We're not part-timers. We're full-timers. All of the time. I can't tell you how many times a day, especially in the last 2 years, I've said, Father, I'm trusting. God, I'm trusting. Creator, I'm trusting. Right in the middle of it. Right in the middle of the hard stuff. I was in the ER a couple weeks ago, and all I could say, couldn't breathe very much. I couldn't talk to Pat about it. All I could say was, God. That's all I could say. No matter what, we suspend our doubts as best we can. We take our faith with us, and we move forward, and we act. This is the most important thing. This is the most important thing, this next statement. So if you're asleep, wake up just for a minute and go back to sleep. We act as if the thing we have asked for is already done. As a matter of fact, in all my affirmations lately, I stamp that on the end. I ask for it and I say, it's already done. And I see it in my head already done. And I do this. I'm getting very physical with my affirmations lately to just get the mind-body connection going. It's done. You're healed. I don't care if you have a golf ball tumor. It's already done. And I may have told this story. I apologize if I have, but I was so impressed. There was a hospital, I think it's in Beijing. No medicine, no surgery. A woman had a golf ball size, or a little bigger, tumor on her bladder. And they show this picture on YouTube. She's laying down, they have an ultrasound, they have a picture before and an ultrasound to prove what's going on. 3 monks, 3 Tibetan monks are there, and they're saying in their own language, it's already done, it's already done, it's already done, they're just doing this. Like they look like they're dancing and chanting at the same time. They show you in the lapse time of the 3 minutes as that tumor starts to shrink away to nothing. That's the power. If I'm saying these things today like your life depends on it, it's only because it does. Where does healing take place, first and foremost? In the mind. Why does medicine work? Why does acupuncture work? Why does reflexology and Reiki work? Because we believe it to be so. If you think you are incredibly powerful, you're selling yourself short. We are so incredibly powerful. Jesus came to show us, and the 100 verses of the Sermon on the Mount is just a sampling. He came to show us that everything he did, we can do. If we are in pain today, if we are ill today, if we have lack today, if we are not prosperous today, it's only because we have believed the lie. The only thing true is God. The only thing true are those things that are of God. Sickness is not of God. Lack is not of God. Why would we waste any time on